I get most of my information from Tampax commercials. Hi, everyone. This is Adam and Alex with the SpitTake podcast, and we have a special guest joining us today. We're joined by Nicole Alyse Nelson from the Nickelodeon show I Am Frankie and the Oscar-nominated short Jane Austen's period drama. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Nicole. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Very great.
Great.
I'm getting rocking the central time right now, just living in the storms.
Yeah. I'm getting over a little cold or something myself, so I'm clearing my throat a lot. So I'm going to try to mute myself every time I do. So,
that's considerate.
Yeah, well, there's stuff going around right now. I see it all the time.
You just got to use it as a punctuation mark.
Yes.
Make a really good point. That was an excellent Oscar-nominated short.
But yeah, I know one of the reasons you're on here is to talk about your Oscar-nominated short. Again, that's Jane Austen's period drama, which we both watched and enjoyed. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and I loved your character. I can't speak. I'm not going to speak for Alex the whole time, but I loved your character. I thought she was fun because she was just go with the flow. So go get a chicken so that we can cut it open, stab her in the leg. And you were just like, I'm here for it. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So how much direction did they give you and how much was just you?
I mean, I feel like a good amount of it was just kind of me. Like, it was written so well and so specifically. It was like, I read it and I was like, I get how this is supposed to sound. I get the beats of this. I get the running in and out. Like, I get the urgency and like, so I just kind of like, I sent them an audition and they were like, yeah, that's the character. And so, direction was more like, blocking and also handling a live chicken. There was a lot of direction there, which I still got wrong because the chicken like fluttering was not part of the script. I just couldn't get a handle on it. But yeah, like kind of just leaned in to like, what would I do in this situation? And it was very much instinctual.
Yeah.
Well, it really came off as a much. Your part accelerated the dialogue. It would get this brilliant dialogue between the mains, and then you could just pop in with an accelerant and make it move a little bit faster, and just heightening the scene each time when you came on.
It was very strong sketch comedy is like the feel I got from it. It's just like a lot of things going on, but it all comes together in a good way and mixes well. So,
do you have any experience in sketch and improv?
I did, I made my own YouTube videos when I was a kid, and they were all my, little funny sketches that again, it was my own schooling. I started at 11 and I came up with things I thought was funny as an 11-year-old who had no life experience. And I was probably doing the silliest things, but I would just get this idea and I'd write it and I'd figure out how to shoot it and I'd figure out how to edit it. And that was my version of that. And for being a little kid, I didn't use my real name and things. My parents were like, we don't know this YouTube stuff. This doesn't sound safe. And so I didn't have a following really, my family didn't really know. And so I built a good amount of momentum for just a kid from Texas who didn't tell anybody in her personal life that I was making these funny things, or again, at least what I thought was funny. And then improv, I started taking some classes maybe around 15, 16 years old in high school. But it was just one of those classes that was really game heavy. So I don't fully know what I took away from that. I didn't ever do one of the improv shows. I was just in the improv classes. And I feel like there were always so many people around me that were so much quicker with a joke that it was very easy for me to just rescind into the background and be like, yes, I will catch this ball if it comes my way.
I mean, they say if you're the one who's getting all the laughs in improv, you're doing it wrong. The best improvisers are the ones who are supporting their teammates and pushing them forward. And because a scene can't exist with just one person, that's just stand up.
Yeah, no, that is a good point.
It's definitely not mine. I 100% stole that from Nick Napier over The Annoyance.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got the part for this. So it got nominated for the Oscar. We're very excited to watch this weekend and see how that goes, and we'll be rooting for you.
The Oscars are this weekend?
Yeah. 15th.
Yeah. This
Interesting.
Sunday.
Yeah.
The day after St. Patty's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Be a lot of hungover people watching your show.
Yeah. Yeah. Who as far as the Oscars go, from what you've seen, who's like your picks for things?
Well, let's see. I feel like for Best Picture, there's a couple in there I haven't seen because there are 10 nominated, which is like a lot. But like My Partner is in Blue Moon with Ethan Hawke. And
Ooh, another Texas guy.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's British.
Ethan Hawke?
Oh, no, My Partner. But yes, Ethan Hawke is from Texas.
Damn, he is good.
Can you imagine? Or is he from Texas?
All these years.
The director is from Texas. Is Ethan too? Maybe.
Yeah, Ethan's from Texas.
That makes so much sense then. Yeah, the director is Richard Linklater from Texas. And then so I was like on that set. They shot it in Ireland and I like watched Ethan fully transform. So I would love to see Ethan win that for Best Actor. Just like the amount of work he did is insane. It's absolutely insane. It's like if you haven't seen it, the whole movie is like a play, as you know, Linklater's movies usually are. But just the amount of dialogue he had and his very specific point of view, and he changed how he moved and how he looked. I mean, it was just incredible. So I'd love to see that. And then like, oh gosh, Best Picture, I don't know. It's
Sinners
so
is out there.
Yeah.
Sinners was great. I love Sinners.
I loved Sinners.
It was one of those movies, though, that everybody was like, you cannot, like, don't go looking for you have to just watch it. And I definitely was glad that I did it that way, because if you don't really know what you're about to watch, it's so much more of a ride.
Yes. So when I've said it before, I equate that movie. It took a lot of inspiration from Dusk Till Dawn. Because that movie was From Dusk Till Dawn is one of those movies. It's two movies in one. You start off with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, and they're robbers and everything, and they end up at the bar, and then all of a sudden becomes a vampire movie. And I feel like Sinners took a lot from that, because it starts off as two guys just trying to open a bar, and then even though they had sprinkled the vampire stuff in fairly early, but it doesn't really become a vampire survival movie until later on. So and From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movies. It's just so fantastic. But Sinners was
Rodriguez also from Texas.
Yes, he is.
I think that's just going to be the theme of this podcast.
What's from Texas?
A lot of great things, and definitely nothing terrible.
Robert Rodriguez is one of my favorite directors, though. He's so good at everything he does. But yeah, I think Superman got nominated for a few Oscars. I don't know if that one's
didn't get Best Picture.
I didn't think it was Best Picture.
No, I haven't seen Marty Supreme or F1 yet. I saw Frankenstein. I only made it halfway through one battle after another.
Yeah, people are raving about that one, though.
It's fine, but man, it was a lot to take in, and maybe I just wasn't in the right mood for it. Sometimes you'll see like the greatest movie ever, but you just had a crappy day. You're like, fuck this. Citizen Kane. What is Rosebud? Who gives a shit?
That's a fair point. You really got to be in the mood to accept whatever it is you're about to turn on. Because if there's a part of you that is thinking about something else or doesn't fully want to be there, it doesn't matter how great it is. Your brain is just going to do something else.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I still can't watch like American Horror Story, because I was watching it with my ex when we broke up. And now like it'll come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
That lady.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There could be a lot of Sarahs. We can bleep that out.
Yeah. There's some movies that win Oscars, like they win Best Picture, and I'm like, I saw that movie. It was not that good, but it's all personal opinion, a lot of it. And I'm not looking at probably the same things that the Academy is, but was it There Will Be Blood? Not a fan of that movie. But
what?
Yeah.
What?
Did not care for it.
You didn't like Daniel Plainview? I drink your milkshake.
It was so boring, but so boring. I like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Wow.
But
so you and Tarantino on the whole screw Paul Dano thing. You heard it here first, Adam.
Yeah. Paul Dano's not bad.
Quentin Tarantino.
He was a good Riddler. He was good.
He was a good Riddler.
Yeah. Agreed.
Again, we're very excited about your short. But I thought it was a lot of fun, and like I knew what it was going into it because I read up on it first, and I was like, okay, so this is about periods. Wonderful. And growing up with two sisters, having an oversharing wife, I was like, I'm ready for this. I don't care. So, but it was funny because the reactions that the guy had, I'm like, I remember those reactions growing up. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is though, even when you're like a female hearing about what's going to happen to you for the first time, it's not any different. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? What? Like, it doesn't sound real. It's wild.
I get most of my information from Tampax commercials. So it's like, sometimes I'll sit there and be like, wait, what did they just say? They'll be like, oh yeah, sometimes your flow can change from heavy to slow and back to heavy. And I'm like, wait, it does? What? I'm like, okay, I thought it was just like one setting, but no. So you learn a lot of stuff there. But it's just,
I learned a lot from going to the store and having to find the right number on the not the tampons, what are the things with wings? The pads.
The pads.
Yes.
Yeah, and going, okay, she said get a 4 or a 3. And, just give me the whole house.
Yeah.
It's like you just learn things as you go through life, and then you're like, then you get like up there and you're like, I'm in my 30s and I'm just hearing about this for the first time. And I'm like, I went through health class, I did pretty well, but I don't remember them talking about this. And I guess, I didn't think about it from the female perspective.
The
like once you hit that and you're just like, and everybody's telling you this is what's going to happen, that's got to be like a blow. It's like, Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with that.
I can't imagine like being one of those like little girls that didn't have the talk, but the event happened, and then you're just like, wait, is this normal? Like, because there's got to be a handful of people out there that don't get like the health school or the the guardians.
Nicole, I have terrible news. There's a lot more than a handful of bad parents.
Yes. Yes.
There's a few.
Yeah.
More out there teaching the ropes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of parents who want to just let the schools handle it now, which is not the right answer.
They really don't.
Of course, down in Texas, where Nicole and I'm from, they'll do it, but it's usually with a Bible. They'll tell you the correct verse to look into.
Yeah, like, this will tell you everything you need to know about it.
I'm having my period. Jesus wept.
Yeah. Nope. Very true. I've got a daughter, and one day I'm going to probably have to talk to her about that. I'm hoping her mom handles most of it, but she likes to come to me with questions.
I feel like the wife can handle that one. You can teach her about how boys are pieces of crap, how to change a tire. You can be misogynist in some ways to where you have your roles.
It is one of my fears as I get older. So I'm like, will my wife be around long enough to explain all the things that I don't want to explain? And God willing...
that is your biggest worry.
I think about it often.
Melt down a couple bigger worries.
Yeah, no, I think about it often. I'm like, should I just film her talking about this so I can show her one day, like, here, your mom left you a message about your period.
Wasn't that a Michael Keaton movie in the 90s?
Was it?
Where he just was straight to camera, and it was like old school VHS, and he just recorded himself because he was going to die.
Yeah. Yes, there was. I'm trying to remember what movie that was. I know what you're talking about, though. I don't remember.
I don't know.
See, Nicole, it's what we're talking about, getting off on tangents here.
God.
We
jumped in rabbit holes.
Movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I do remember.
Speaking of movies that we can't remember, Nicole, obviously you wanted to do this since you were little, since you were 11 and making YouTube videos. Was there any like a singular event that you can remember where you got like recognition or something, or you saw somebody on screen and were like, that's what I want?
I feel like, and I'm not just saying this because my first like real big success was Nickelodeon. I feel like I was the kid that watched like kids shows like Disney and Nick just way longer than everybody else. So for me, my thing wasn't super like, I wasn't a kid watching really great cinema. I was a kid watching Disney and Nickelodeon, and I would like memorize every line and just have all of the episodes on repeat. And so that was kind of the thing. Like, I knew the idea of a multicam set, this laugh track, this very curated fake world where everything is heightened and there's a little joke. Like, that's what I wanted to do. Like, I was a kid that when I did like perform, I was quite large. It was coming out here and then getting into it. It was really easy when I started getting the auditions for Disney and Nick, because I was like, I've watched so much of this. I can just read it and know how it sounds. And so I think it's whatever that word is, accumulation of all of the little shows that I watched growing up that were just like funny and like kids, and like getting to do a version of that was kind of like the dream. And then it happened really quickly in my venture out here, like doing it professionally. And then I started to have to be like, okay, well, what do I want to do now? Because that was always like the kid thing, but like,
Sure.
where's this going? And then I had to, kind of figure that out.
Yeah, once you achieve the childhood dream of having like candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
what next?
Now what?
Yeah, and there's a lot of platforms out there now for people to kind of explore in that area. Not to show mine and Alex's age, but growing up, it was...
Bitch, don't you say it.
Oh, yeah. No, you had a video camera that sat on your shoulder, and it was your dad's camera, and you walked around and you shot that. You never got out to anybody. You were just filming fun stuff. But that's also how a lot of the greats started. Adam Goldberg, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez. That was how they all kind of started.
That's all they needed. Yeah. Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. All they needed was that camera and a dream.
Definitely not their dad. Definitely not Nepo babies. But that is how...
Not that they're not talented. I don't mean to shit on them. They're both brilliant.
No, but you see that passion for it when, that kind of stuff happens. Going into that, like trying to create your own sketches and everything on YouTube, shows that passion. Kevin Smith, just sold his comic book collection, bought a camera, and made Clerks. Like,
yeah. Well, we talked about Robert Rodriguez already. I mean, he committed himself to a mental hospital and went underneath like tests so he could save up enough money. Like, he voluntarily put himself in there, and they paid him, I think it was like $6,000 or $8,000. And then he took that money and shot Desperado.
Mm-hmm.
Not Desperado. It was El Mariachi.
Yes. Yep. Great movie.
He'd read a book that said, write 10 screenplays and throw them all away, and that's how you write. So he's like, well, screw it. I'll just make 10 movies and then throw them all away.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's really cool to see where kind of people get...
Punctuation cough.
Yeah. It's cool to see where people kind of get their inspiration for these different things. And some of the stuff I see on YouTube, I love watching some of the shorts people make that are just low budget, like out in their backyard, but they put it together, they film it really well. They, people are doing it on their phones, which is crazy.
That blows my fucking mind. I was at at an open house this weekend, and they were all comedians in the Lakeview area. And it reminded me when I was in my 20s and was a comedian in the Lakeview area. It's all these kids all living together in a house. And the kids editing some video of a stage show they shot. And I was like, oh, how's that going? It's going to take you a while, right? He's like, no, I just punch it into AI and it chops it up for me. And I hated him with all of my heart. Because I remember, like 2010, 2012, 13, I downloaded some free software that I could get for nothing that was like a clone of Final Cut, and spent hours and hours buffering and buffering and buffering, and just to make like a 3-minute stupid video. And this kid can just do it with AI.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I feel like that, but then you're not learning how to edit at all. You're not picking where the beats are and which shot you want to use. And it's like, yeah, that's maybe efficient if the, product is good, but you have no knowledge.
Yeah, it's true. Unearned success is bullshit. I mean, did you edit all of your videos when you first came out?
Yeah, I did. And I learned but I loved the editing aspect. Like I would try to pick like what I was going to do based on like some editing challenge I'd yet to crack. Like I'd be like, okay, my next video is all green screen. I'm going to make an idea that I have to use this, and then I'm just going to figure it out in the editing. And I would thing I didn't know what I was doing with just to like learn how to solve the puzzle. Like little things. Like I also use like Final Cut, but like one of my videos, I wanted to like make a vortex appear and like walk through it. And so then I was like, well, now I have to figure out how to do that because that's what I wrote.
Nice.
And then learning how to like not move the camera so you can do a split screen, and then how you're gonna make a vortex appear. Like it was just funny things.
Yeah. So I do all the editing for this show, and we always put out like shorts and stuff for YouTube. I have been cheating a lot lately using Riverside to, it gives you like these cuts. It's like, here's a 1 minute cut from your show and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'll use that one. I'll throw it up on Instagram. When we do the longer form videos though, it's everything. Like I pull it out, I edit it, I clean up the sound. I do all the sound editing here. So but it's also one of my favorite parts, and I wish I had more time to do it. But I feel like the editing for me is where the art really is. Like you got
100%. That should be bigger than Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah,
yes,
agreed.
Editing matters so much. I mean, you look at some of the most successful directors out there, and they use the exact same editor every single time. I don't mean to win Feminist of the Week award here, but aren't most editors women? Like the most successful editors in Hollywood are women.
Yeah.
Your timing's down.
I learned about this not too long ago. Is like there was back in the day, like 1940s and stuff, when they were, shooting on film and learning how to make, grandiose things. They put women in the editor position because when it was all tactile, it was basically sewing. And so they used the gender card to only make the editors women. And so they kind of got a great eye for it about it, looking under like the light and being like, I'm going to put this one here, I'm going to put this one, and on this cut we're going to go this one. So it's I don't know how that's kind of like transcended throughout the years, but
once you get a foothold, hold the hell on.
There you go.
That's how white males live in the CEO world. They got in, and now everybody else is screwed.
Yeah.
They're not leaving. We are asking, but it is just not happening.
Yeah.
Well, and
I've sent letters.
Yeah. And I like editing because there's a part where you're doing it where you're like, I'm trying to elicit certain emotions from people. And I'm sure that's exactly how they do it in movies. Like, okay, we're trying to pull this out, but if it's not cut together right, you're not going to get the right emotions. And I'm just like,
sure.
What makes somebody excited to watch what you're doing? And it's a big part of it is just the editing and how it comes through. And the
emotion lives in the pauses.
Yep.
And if your pause is too short, if your pause is too long, it's either funny or weird.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, there's such a science to it of like how quickly you move between things. When I just do it for the show, it's like, how quickly do we move from one person's face to another? And it's that control over it. And sometimes the situation varies, like depending on what's being talked about. So
you just stay on my face.
Yeah. Steph brings us more viewers. So that's our other host who's not here tonight, Steph. She's also my big sister. She had a
really bad day. Didn't want to bring the hate.
Yes. So if you're listening and wondering where Steph is, she was a little mad at some people. So not us.
Let's hope her day gets better.
Yes. But she was very excited. She said to send her apologies for it. But yeah, I liked editing, and as I was growing up, one of the things I wanted to be was a Hollywood screenwriter. I loved writing. I had a lot of unfinished stories that I started that are probably lost into the internet now, but I used to love to write, and that was one of the things I always wanted to do, and I just never saw it through. So, but this is my creative outlet now.
Never too young, never too old.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah. What type of things, like what type of stories would you gravitate towards? Did you find patterns?
I preferred to write a lot more like sci-fi type stuff. I was huge into Star Wars and Star Trek growing up, and I loved this. I loved comic books. I loved all that stuff. And I think, and I wrote a couple of different spy things. I started some spy things, but I really I really gravitated towards the sci-fi. I just thought it was so fun to go out, and explore what could be in the future. I think one of the coolest things about sci-fi is that there's a scientist somewhere who grew up watching some kind of sci-fi and said, you know what? I'm going to make that. And a lot of our technology was in TV and movies before it was ever reality. It was just something made up and someone's like, I'm going to figure out how to do that. So that imagination brought a lot of science, a lot of technological advances to us. So I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But
nice.
Is there a product you wish existed currently?
Oof.
Like hoverboard?
Look at you, press tour.
I know, right?
Bring that around on the press tour question.
Okay. Yeah. I know. Not ready for this. You know what? The fabricators from Star Trek would be awesome to just walk into your kitchen and say, grilled cheese sandwich. And then there's just a little light and there's a grilled cheese sandwich. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to buy all the stuff. It's just like, here you go. I would love that.
Much like your editing, you're letting something else do it for you, making the grilled cheese sandwich. You got to cut it just right. Are you going to have a tomato soup right next to it? Is this the day that you fry up a little bit of bacon and make it crispy? How many kinds of cheese? Maybe sprinkle a little bit of Parmy on top, grill it a little bit more.
Well, and you know what? And that's the problem with the fabricators. It's like, what's the standard? What is the standard?
That is the main problem with fabricators in real life.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it would be cool.
That would be delicious, though. I would drink way too much coffee. Keurig is already too easy for me to put caffeine in my body. If I had something where I could just go, coffee,
I would
have a heart attack. Oh, God, yes.
What's your favorite genre, Nicole?
I love comedy, but I specifically love like the Clueless and the Mean Girls and the Bridesmaids. Like I like female heavy comedies. And that's kind of what I grew up watching. Even like I feel like I guess, was this in the 80s? Like one of those movies that my mom showed me at a young age that quickly became a movie I'd put on anytime I was sick is like Overboard. I know that's a romance, but it's also a comedy. And it's like
a comedy.
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn's hilarious.
Kurt Russell
was
amazing.
She got to start doing sketch comedy on Laugh-In.
Oh.
I actually
Goldie
didn't know
Hawn's
that either.
Brilliant. Her career is just to be studied.
Yes.
Because she was just the hot little blonde girl in the 60s on Laugh-In and built herself into a brilliant long career. Really moved around a lot.
Yeah.
And her and Kurt Russell are just the cutest couple.
I know.
You can just tell they make it work.
They do.
It's not easy making it work out there.
No. I do like, there's quite a few like female-led comedies I really enjoy. Mean Girls is one of them. I do like that movie.
It's like, you know what's coming. Like, it's so quotable. You know, but it's still, it hits every time.
Yeah.
It's extremely clever. I mean, it's a really well-written comedy. I've been on a big Tina Fey kick recently. I'm rewatching 30 Rock. It's something I do once a year. You always got to rewatch 30 Rock just to get because every single time there's 4 different jokes that I didn't catch of just like some offhanded thing, some aside that Tracy Morgan says, and you're like, oh shit, that references the thing from 2 episodes ago that they didn't even, like it was no mention of it.
Yeah.
And then just another offhanded. Brilliant. Tina Fey, I mean, that's
clever.
Second City right there, baby.
Yeah. The new show that they have, The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins, I was telling you, Alex, I was watching it over the weekend. They have like 3 episodes out right now, but it's the exact same brand of comedy as 30 Rock. So funny. And Tracy Morgan is just the best. Daniel Radcliffe is hilarious in that. And I love that he's come out as such a
chops.
I love that he's come out as such a good comedic actor now. You know,
I know. I feel like that came out of nowhere with Harry Potter being his, but he's evolved and done so many things, and he's very funny.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
He's very clever. He's witty. He's charming without being off-putting. Like there's some cats who you're just like, damn, you are so cute and clever. Fucking, I don't trust you. But with him, you're like, come on, let's make a sandwich.
I know. I only knew him from Harry Potter, and then he was in a show called Miracle Workers that I think got like 3 or 4 seasons, which was good. I don't think a lot of people were watching it, but like it was an anthology series, so every season was a different scenario. But he was so funny in that show, and that's what really brought him to the forefront of comedy for me. And then he's done a lot of other parts now, and I'm just like, he's really good at the comedy stuff. And I'm glad he broke away from being like the nerdy wizard kid. That's
How
something that
dare
could have
you.
followed
Harry
him for
was
his life.
never. He was in Gryffindor. You son of a bitch. Nerdy.
Come on.
Talking to him like he's a damn Ravenclaw.
Have you seen those glasses? She's all that taught us.
Yeah, that's true.
They taught
You
us.
have glasses. You're a nerd.
Yeah.
Damn it. Haha. Fuck you, both of you. Over here in Poolsville. Up right here for the duration.
Yep.
Smoke a cigarette.
So, but yeah, it's really great that he was able to kind of do that. There's a few actors who have done that in their time. Channing Tatum's one of them. He was always kind of just the pretty boy, more in the drama type stuff. And then he got into the 21 Jump Street, and that like launched him for a lot of people. Was just like, okay, he's got some range. He's got something else he can do very well. John Cena was the same. I didn't care for most of early John Cena, but then once he started doing comedy, you were like, this guy's hilarious. And he found the right niche for himself. Was like, you're not an action hero, no matter how big you are. You're not an action hero. You are a comedy actor. That's what you are. And once you find your niche, like that's where you can run with it.
I'm annoyed at attractive men who are also funny. The Matt Rifes of the world out there. The, what's the guy's name? Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. You cannot be both. That's our job. We're the fat kids. We were fat and had to get attention from girls, so we learned how to do our little dance.
Alan Richardson is another one. That guy is
great.
He's such a handsome man.
I'd let him buy me dinner and see where it went.
Yeah, he's good.
If for nothing else than the dinner. I mean, free dinner's a free dinner, man.
Again, guy with range. He can do absurdly hilarious comedy like Blue Mountain State, or he can do deadly serious like Reacher. Like everything in between. And I guess he's got a new movie on Netflix called War Machine, which I want to go watch.
I did see that today when I was snoofing around. I ended up just watching Suits again.
I heard it was
the first 3 seasons of Suits. I'm just, I can put that on in the background and I walk around feeling more confident around my apartment while I clean.
Yeah. Well, I guess War Machine's a big hit. So I'm like, I really want to go watch that now.
Oh, there you go. So you say you're really into Bridesmaids. What would you say, like, what do you enjoy about that movie? Not just like the ensemble cast, but like what were the key parts about the funniness?
Gosh.
Like what would you laugh your ass off right now at?
Yeah, I think the characters are so specific. Like, I just think it's funny how, like, well, obviously the the scene where they all get food poisoning is ridiculous.
Yes.
That's a standout. But I mean, even just like the specificity and like the way that I'm forgetting the character's name. The woman who was in the Goldbergs, like her whole thing was like she has all these sons and they're fucking disgusting. And
she's got a 3-word name.
Wendy McClendon Covey.
Yes.
Kobe, yes.
She's so
that's a
funny.
great line.
She's so great. But like it's the specificity of like the random little conversations they would have, just kind of getting to know each other is just so clever and funny. And
the relationships.
The relationships. And the thing with like them trying to talk on like, what do you call it? The speeches when they're both trying to one up each other. And it's like, and I just have to say, well, I have to say, just little things. Yeah. I'm like, it's so childish and it's perfect.
Kristen Wiig is brilliant.
Yeah. And I love when you can when you can tell something was pulled from a real life experience. Like a conversation was pulled, like somebody had this conversation and the director or the writer thought like, this is going to be great in there. And I feel like the part where you were just talking about with the kids being gross, conversations I have with people regularly where I'm just like, they're disgusting. I've got a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old and they are gross. It's just nothing but boogers. I was holding my son before bed tonight and I was like, why is my shoulder all wet? And it was just boogers. And I was like, they're disgusting. They're very disgusting. But again, that's like the conversation.
Number 50. No kids.
Those are the conversations that they're real. And you get the same thing when you have like really well-written characters. They're based on someone. The from Office Space.
Lumberg.
The manager.
Of the boss.
Yeah, the boss.
Gary Cole plays.
Yeah, so my mom swears up and down. She's like, that is the exact way my old boss used to talk. And she was like, this is based on a real person. And I find that hilarious that you can just look at people and you're like, this is somebody from that person's life. Mr. Mackey from South Park was based on a school counselor that Trey Parker and Matt Stone had in their school. Like, That's what's so funny about all of it. It's like, somebody, you went through some experience with somebody like this. They're in your movie, and they must have had some kind of impact on you.
Here's the question, though. Do you think that the people know that they're the inspiration? Or like when it's a bad portrayal or like somewhat negative, do you think that person has no self-awareness? Like, that couldn't possibly be me.
I think it depends on what you're watching. So when you get South Park, a lot of times their thing is vengeful. Like Cartman's mom being named Leanne and Trey Parker having his college girlfriend cheat on him, and her name was Leanne. And so in the show, they made her a giant whore. But so things like that, it's like, this is very obviously an attack on this person. But I think there's some people out there that just don't realize that's maybe
it's an homage. What was it last week or the week before? That kid on SNL who's just fucking killing it. He's in everything now. Marcelo.
I haven't watched SNL in a while.
Yeah, it's because we're old.
Yeah.
He did a character, and it was a teacher, and he'd based it off of a teacher of his, and he invited that teacher to the taping.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. It was a solid sketch.
Was it flattering?
Kind of a one note. Do what?
Was it flattering? The portrayal?
I think it was a woman, and he had done her as, like, he did drag for the senior show and did like her cadence and speech, and then invited her to the show. And I think she knew it, but yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think he made her into a Nazi or anything. It was just a character. It's just one of those like goofy characters. And SNL is right now just repetition of look to the camera.
Yeah. Well, what is it they say? Impersonation is the most sincere form of flattery. So
that's very true.
They're doing it. I don't know. But like, I do like when you see that, and especially when you read about it and they're like, yeah, so I had this teacher growing up and it was this person, and that's where I took that character from. It's a little mix of this, a little mix of that. And I feel like we all kind of do that a little bit, right? We take the personalities of the people around us and we're just a mix of them. So yeah, that's what I believe anyways.
What was it in Steve Martin's book? He said he was talking to Johnny Carson, and Carson had said, you use everything, no matter what you've run across, no matter what you do, every random person you meet, you use it. I did a sketch when I was going through the conservatory at Second City about a lounge singer, and it was a guy that had performed in the restaurant I worked at in high school. And it's just, I didn't use the whole thing. I don't have a baritone for it. But
we've got the storms out here. Yep, I heard that.
Oh,
I know.
Yes,
I love a good storm. You're from Texas. You should love storms too. Like when you can see them coming.
Oh yeah,
across that big freaking Texas sky.
What's funny? Real quick sidebar on that. So, like I mentioned, my partner, he's British, but he and when it rains in England, it's a very light, like a continuous, like it's a it's there, like the air, like breathing, like it's just there. It doesn't really storm. Like it doesn't really have the same like Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. Sorry, storms. By the way, because my parents are on a cruise right now, it says their location, and I had to do a double take because their location is now the Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
Yeah. Anyway, like
isn't the Gulf of America what we're living through right now?
Yeah.
Basically, the storms when he would come and stay, his thing was, this is movie rain. This is rain that you see in the movies. And I thought that was so funny that there was a distinction to him. But it's like when it's fully storming, you're like, oh, this is like, like a real scene, like, okay, in Castaway at the very end when they run out, that is some movie rain. But it's real.
Big droplets just everywhere.
Yes.
When I was, first time I went to North Carolina, and we got stuck and it was like a 10-minute rainstorm. And apparently they're like, it rains every couple of days here. But I was in North Carolina and it started raining, and it was like the thickest rain I've ever seen or felt. Like I just felt like I was being pelted, and I was like, what is hitting me right now? And few minutes of a storm and I was just drenched, and I'm like, what just happened? So I'm used to like Chicago rain where it's like usually pretty light. Sometimes it gets heavy, but like not like that. It doesn't just hit you like a ton of bricks and then go away.
It's like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When it rains in Chicago, you're like, we're going to be at this for the next couple of days. Like they're like, oh, there's
Yeah.
going to be some rain coming. Yeah, we're going to be doing this for.
It's wild up here,
Mhm.
but Adam, come down to the heartland, to sweet, beautiful Lone Star State,
Texas. I
home
love
of all
Texas.
sips and Whataburgers, and I'll show you some real summer storms, man.
Yeah.
When they come through, woof.
I used to love watching storms in the city, though. That was like one of my favorite things because I'm actually from the north suburbs of Chicago. So when I say I'm from Chicago, I give people the general, because if you're not from Chicago, you're from Chicago. So, but I used to love, because I would work security in the city, and every now and then I was supposed to be like kind of watching this area, but I'd go up to the rooftop and I'd watch lightning strike buildings from the safety of the door. I'm inside the building still, but I would love to watch lightning just strike buildings. It was so much fun. I miss those good times.
Just casually.
It's a little chaotic. I like that.
Yeah.
I love storms. I saw Twisters recently, and I was so excited to watch that. I love all that stuff. My daughter loves to watch documentaries about storms. We watched a 3-part documentary about tsunamis, and every day we got home, like, because they were hour and a half episodes, and so like we watched like a half hour, one night, and then another half hour. But every time we came home, she's like, I want to watch the tsunamis. I want to watch the tsunamis. So we'd sit there and we'd watch a documentary about tsunamis hitting places. It was awesome.
Wow. That's so fascinating. And it's like the one main natural disaster I have absolutely no desire to ever witness.
I don't want to be in it.
If you're
no.
seeing a tsunami, you're involved
It's
in a
not
tsunami.
good.
There's
Like,
no.
if you're seeing it, best of luck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Survivor stories from tsunamis are crazy, because they'll be like, yeah, I was holding my husband's hand. Next thing I know, he's gone. Like, crazy. Like, just to blink out in an instant like that. And those things pull everything back with them. So you're never found.
On that.
You're never found.
Yeah.
You belong to the ocean now.
You ever been around when there's a tornado swinging by and you just hear that noise of a tornado? It's like nothing you've ever heard before in your life, and you're just so sure that there's nothing good on earth because that tornado is right there. Just
Yeah. The crazy thing I didn't know about tornadoes was that the sky gets green beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's so
that's
weird,
specific and odd. And
Yes.
I still kind of want to know the science behind it, honestly.
If this whole acting thing doesn't work out, you can be a storm chaser. It sounds fun.
There we go.
You've got your timing down. That's part of it.
Know when
And
to
just
get
bring
out.
along a whole cast of characters from the Nickelodeon shows, and you can make a TV show out of it. Storm
Yeah.
Chasers with iCarly.
I'd watch
That's the
that.
only one that
I'd
just
watch
came to me. I don't remember it. My Nickelodeon was like David the Gnome and Snick. Do you remember Snick?
Yeah, Snick.
Oh yeah,
remember Snick.
that predates you.
Yeah, I was like the one of the earlier shows that I still watched but loved was like the Amanda Show, but that came after
Yes.
all that.
Mhm.
But the Amanda Show, sketch comedy, brilliance for
There's a
children.
motherfucker with timing.
Mhm.
She
was
could pull
great.
a wink at a camera in just the cleverest way. I would love to see her make a comeback in the same way that
Britney
Mean
Spears.
Girl.
Oh,
No,
Lindsay.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan's definitely come back and just like, hey, millennials, I was a fucked up, 20-something just like the
Yeah.
rest of you, and now I'm a mom. Here's this. I'd love to see Amanda Bynes do that, because I could still watch She's the Man right now. Speaking of Channing Tatum, that's a great fucking movie.
So
She made him a star.
I
She made him
agree.
a star.
She's so good.
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
watching all that. I remember when she came onto all that. So I've been watching Kenan Thompson since I was a kid. Now he's on SNL. It's amazing.
Mhm.
Blows my mind.
23 seasons on
Yeah.
SNL.
Which is even
Fucking
crazier,
brilliant.
and I don't like that number. But
The number 23.
I don't like that it's been 23 seasons.
Oh, I thought you had like an issue
No,
with
no,
the
no.
number 23. I thought like this is Blink 182. No one likes you when you're 23
No.
situation.
This is This is like he's been on SNL for 23 seasons, and I remember watching him on all that as a kid, which lasted quite some time. But that was always fun to me because that was kid comedy and it was kid sketches, and that was a great show. But I remember watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? I remember watching Kenan and Kel. I think they're doing a Kenan and Kel movie or something soon.
They tried to reboot Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, I never watched it.
No, I haven't heard anything about it. So I guess it didn't go well. Short-lived. I don't know.
Yeah.
They've tried to reboot everything under the sun. If there's IP out there that they can get anything out of, I mean, they tried to redo In Living Color a couple 10 years ago. I auditioned for that and did not well. I did not get pulled. Afterwards, they're like, no, they're going to pull the generic white guy out of the stand-up scene in LA. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's where you got Jim Carrey. It's fucking good.
I didn't know that they tried to reboot that. I used to love In Living Color. That was such a funny show.
Yeah, my agent sent me for that, and I had a week to figure out like what impressions to do. I'm like, I don't fucking do impressions. I'm the fat guy who falls down funny.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
Alex,
but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm curious if you've had like a terrible audition story.
Yeah. Multiple. I think the one that always comes to mind is I had to jump around with a big ball and pretend to be a cat.
Oh.
And then like they'd be like, oh, there's a bird. All right, what's this over there? And just do that. Like every fucking audition was terrible. Oh, I know one. I went out for Chicago Fire and I show up and it's at the new IO building. And so there's a bar in the middle, just a shitload of tables around. And it was like I walked into a bar of all the same guy and none of them looked like me. They were all 50-something, heavy set, just super Italian-looking guys. God, I never watched The Sopranos, sorry. But Big Pussy, I think, was his name.
Mm-hmm.
One of the actors, or one of the characters. They all looked like him. And I go up, and you know how they have the little board there of just all the information? They literally had a picture of the guy from The Sopranos. And they're like, this is what we're kind of looking for. This is 15 years ago, so I was younger and slightly better looking. I'm like, this is not, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I did not get that part either. Yep. Don't you hate auditions?
They're pretty uncomfortable. Well, nowadays it's all self-tape, so you can just...
I was going to say, nowadays I'm hearing that you guys don't have to actually go in the room anymore.
No. I mean, you do for some commercial, and I will say, I mean, commercial is the weirdest. Like, when you tell me about the story with the ball, I'm like, is that a commercial? Because that, weird things are required, and it's just like a normal thing. But, yeah, usual auditions are all self-tape now, and you could do it 100 times if you wanted to, just to get the right tape.
Nice.
But at the same time, it's like, there are people that could just take up their whole day. Whereas, when it's an in-room appointment, yeah, you're driving there, but you're in the room, you're out of the room 10 minutes, and then you're not thinking about it. Whereas now, once you film it, you got to pick the take. You got to trim it. Do you need to crop in? There's a whole, I'm like, this takes up so much time. But there's, pros and cons. I'm definitely glad that I started this industry around 2015 or 2016. And I'm glad that I had a couple years before COVID so that I could experience, the driving around, the doing it in person, because it is so different.
Yeah. In Chicago, because it's such an improv town, you'd always find yourself in commercials or commercial auditions, and they were like, okay, just go riff. Put a couple of you guys out there and tell me about this Doritos new flavor. I'm like,
what the best part is? Whenever you riff and they love what you're saying, but they don't want to cast you, so they just take your funny dialogue and give it to somebody else.
Oh.
That was so clever. Thank you for that. You can leave.
Appreciate it. Yeah. We'll not be giving you a writing credit.
Yeah.
But see, that's the downside of having the video interviews now, is you don't get the great stories like Sigourney Weaver going for Ghostbusters. When she got on all fours and started barking like a dog, and they were just like, she's the right fit. Like, it's crazy. If you've never read that story, read that story about Sigourney Weaver, because that is how she got the part of Ghostbusters, was she started growling and barking like a dog on all fours. It wasn't even the Dana Barrett part. She was auditioning, and she was like doing the terror dog part. And you're just like, okay, that's way to go with it. I got her the part. So I love hearing.
She's got a hell of a career too.
Yeah, I love hearing audition stories. Like they are so funny to listen to. They should just do like an entire show about that. I would watch it.
That's some PTSD right there, my man. That's worse than American Horror Story for me.
Oh God.
be watching that and be like, oh, that's when I did the Patrick Warburton at a Klan rally impression. It didn't work out.
Yeah. No, well, they had the SNL documentary that came out, I think, last year, and a lot of the people who actually made it on the show were talking about their auditions and what parts they did, and the Will Ferrell one where it was like the get off the roof thing that he does. The character
that's a Groundlings thing he came up with.
That's what he did during his audition. He was just up there acting like he was barbecuing, having a conversation. Then he just turned and yelled, "Get off the roof!" And he would just keep yelling that. And they were just, because they didn't know where it was going at first, and then that came out, and that was what got him the part on SNL. So I thought that was always, those stories are always fun to me, just to hear those little tidbits of like how somebody got to where they are.
I heard that.
Ferrell was.
Oh, sorry.
No, not at all. Please. I'm here every damn week. You're the new one. We need you speak more, please. Yeah. Give us a monologue.
Kristen Wiig is like the only person to have every single skit she brought into her SNL audition actually make it onto the show.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That would track.
Heard that.
She's so rubber-faced.
At every other person, they'd take certain things and some would be trash, but apparently to this day, she's the only person, every single one actually made it. And they're like, that's crazy.
Oh, man. It's pretty awesome. You go through all of her characters on SNL, the Target Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Her characters were great because they were a heightened version, but it was also kind of like you could see somebody being that.
Oh, yeah.
She's an extremely relatable comedian.
There's this character she did that was always like one-upping people. She had the long hair.
Mm-hmm.
But I can do it better. But I can do it 10 times better. This is so good.
Yeah. That's an absolutely fantastic character. What is she doing right now? I haven't seen her in any. Wait, she did Palm Springs for Apple.
Oh, yeah. That is good. And that's
a solid show.
I think the show might still be going on, but I know it's going to be Carol Burnett's last season. But I think that the show will keep going.
Good. I can't believe Carol Burnett's still fucking rocking it out there, just tugging that ear for the next generation.
Oh, incredible.
It's amazing. She is an elder stateswoman of everything. So I was having this talk with my buddies the other day about like who the next great old guy is going to be. Because there's always like, to every generation, there is an old man who still is badass. I mean, the Liam Neeson, back in the day, it was Charles Bronson. What'd you say? Harrison Ford, well past when they probably could do that. Like the last few Indiana Jones movies, you're like, I don't know, Indy. Maybe stay on the couch. We'll you go to the museum. We'll bring it to you.
I mean, you keep forgetting Tom Cruise is 70 years old.
Tom Cruise is... he's ageless. Scientology makes you into an ageless wonder. Yeah. I don't mean to talk shit about Scientology. You're out there, Nicole. Nope. You're doing great. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good question.
Like who's going to be the next thing? Like, what of our generation do you think would make a good old badass or an old wizened person? Who's going to take over from Morgan Freeman?
Mm-hmm.
What archetype?
There's not as many, they're not backing like so many young people. I think Timothée Chalamet is the only one who's like young and done everything. Every single thing. You see him and you're like, yeah, of course they picked him. But I feel like it used to be that there was like a handful and they'd be like, and this one is, we're now going Brad Pitt. We're now going Leo. There was a handful, but now I just feel like there's not a lot. Like maybe what comes to mind for like badass, maybe like Austin Butler.
Oh yeah. He's tall too.
He's tall and he's got that like, there's like something about him
he's going to age well. You can tell, like his jawline, like, dude, you're going to be a good looking old man. Yeah. You're going to Paul Newman the shit out of this.
I feel like Henry Cavill could be a good contender for that position.
Mm-hmm.
He could be good. He's getting his hands into everything, all nerd culture anyways.
Isn't he about to do Warhammer?
Yeah, he's about to do Warhammer. Yeah. He's got, I think they wrapped Highlander, or maybe they're filming right now.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I know it's going to be tough, but he did The Witcher. He's been Superman. Like What
Yeah.
else did he do? He did Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is a remake of a TV show, or movie version of a TV show, old TV show. I mean, he's had his hands in everything. He can basically pick his projects now, and he's producer on Warhammer. He's not even just acting in the lead part; he's producing the show. It's crazy. But I think, and it's amazing because me and you were talking about the Count of Monte Cristo earlier, and he was in that movie.
Oh God.
It was his son.
I just can't get past Guy Pearce in that movie.
He was 15 years old in that movie, and it was like mid-90s.
For a nice little period there, Guy Pearce was like one of the best looking men in Hollywood.
He was great.
Like the LA Confidential era, Priscilla Queen of the Desert. That's a handsome Australian son of a bitch.
I saw the Time Machine in theaters, which was not a great adaptation, but it had Guy Pearce, and I was like, I like him, so I'll go see it. It was interesting. There
was a dying
14?
gym over by my house when I first moved here, and they had an actual movie room with all the treadmills, but it was dying, so they didn't have Wi-Fi or anything, so they just had a repeat of DVDs. And for a good month there, they just kept repeating the Time Machine over and over and over again. So I would go in for these 30 minutes high off my ass treadmill sessions, just I can quote fucking Time Machine. That is some cinema right there. Do you have those movies, Nicole? Movies where you've watched so many times that you can I know you were saying Mean Girls earlier, but something where maybe you don't even like it that much, but you've just seen it so many damn times. Also accepted are TV shows.
I feel like this is another thing that I watched a lot as a kid, and I have not seen it since actually being a child. But I feel like I watched it so much, the muscle memory would kick in, and I could probably finish their sentences, and that would be High School Musical.
Oh.
I feel like it was the type of movie. It's like I had the DVD, and then it would finish, and it'd go back to that, play, bonus, whatever, and I would just hit play again. And even if I wasn't watching it, it was always on the TV. And it got to a point where I was so over it, I didn't even end up watching the third movie because I grew up and I loved 1 and 2, but then I must have seen it 1,000 times. I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. But I loved it at the time.
Well, another great movie where the child actor grew into someone huge, Zac Efron. Who knew?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's so funny, in everything he's in. So,
and incredibly good looking. So that's not fair either.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Let's just make a list of actors who are too good looking to be funny. And now that I think about maybe making lists of people to blackball them in Hollywood hasn't worked out historically.
No. Maybe a good topic. We'll figure out some way to phrase that in another episode.
Actors we would blackball.
Yeah. Reasons it's not fair to be alive.
Yeah, right.
So we're getting about to the end of our time here. Nicole, do you have any projects coming up or anything that you want to announce? Anything you want to share?
Well, there's a lot of things in the ether that are still kind of, not solidified, so I can't say. But one of them I wrote, which I'm very proud of. Yes, tapping into that 11-year-old sketch comedy. I wrote an actual movie. I've been working on it for years, and it's finally getting some momentum, and we're assembling a really awesome team, and we're attaching people. And if all goes according to plan, we will film that this year.
Oh my God, good for you.
It's awesome. One of those things you have a little bit more control as a person, a writer, producer, than just like an actor, which is things could change and you have no say. But that one I'm really excited about. I've not stepped into this type of position in Hollywood yet. So yeah, hopefully that's
really
what they say. If you want something done, you got to build it for yourself.
Yeah. And it's true.
That's really awesome.
Fantastic. Now I want to know. I want to ask more about this. What's the plot line? Is there a role for Adam in it?
Not in front of camera. I'm behind the camera. That's what I do.
Well, you're sure as fuck not editing with that penis of yours.
Weird.
Because he's a guy.
Yeah. No.
It's a callback.
I get it. Okay, because the women editors. Yeah. I gotcha. Listen, I can stand behind a camera and hit the button. I can do that. I'm pretty good at it. That's about it.
There you go, buddy.
That's about it.
Nice.
I'll be on camera for the
Congratulations on all your
podcast.
success, Nicole.
Yes, and
Thank
good luck
you
to you
so
with your
much.
good luck to you with your project. And we'll be rooting for Jane Austen's period drama on the Oscars this weekend.
Wait, since you're short, are you going to be like, are they doing it during the main thing, or is it like day before?
I think it is during the actual. Yeah, I think
Irma Gerd, are you going to go? Oh,
I am.
Oh wow!
I
We'll keep an
am.
eye out for it. We'll be like, oh, we saw
how
her on our
fucking
podcast.
cool is that?
And I'm really excited because there's going to be a little bridesmaids reunion. They're doing a skit on the stage. And I was like,
Oh,
it's like
wow.
you made this for me because I'm really
my gosh.
excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Everything's coming up, Nicole.
See, we
Yeah,
spent too
I'm-
much time talking about the funny pretty boys. We didn't have time to talk about all this cool stuff. Oh well.
You know, there's always another podcast.
There is, and we
Nicole's
hope
got 3 more to do today before.
and we hope that you do come back and join us sometime. Hopefully, to talk about your new movie in the future.
Yes.
But we're very excited for you, and best of luck with that. And again, we'll be rooting for your short. It's called Jane Austen's Period Drama. It is on YouTube, so make sure that you check it out. Give your support for it. It is a really funny period piece about a period.
There you go. Play on words.
That was the
You
joke.
son of a bitch.
I always wanted to pretend like I just got the joke, but I understood it before, so it's fine. But thank you again, Nicole, for joining us on the SpitTake podcast. And from all of us here, we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.